Hello, ladies and gentlemen, for the second of our three-part series, our weekly series here, where we talk about midweek wrestling on a little show that we'd like to call the Midweek War. I am Eamon, joining you here. Bad Mike, obviously not here this week. Has much more important business to tend to than two-thirds of these shows, I would say. Just gauging what Mad Mike would probably be thinking. Joining us. As always, though, is the one and only Mr. Tonio Garza. How are you?
I'm doing good. Even we had an amazing Ring of Honor show. It was so good, so freaking good.
This will be an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
I'll say that much. So let's go into this. What would be your one word for Ring of Honor this week?
Rainmaker.
Definitely. My one word is it sounds weird for a word, but outdoors.
Yeah.
So for those that don't know, this was them basically showing a few of their stuff from the Field of Honor show in Brooklyn, which is the show that I believe ran up against NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. So definitely interesting. Seemed like actually, from what I saw, it seemed like a really good turnout from at least like baseball shows I've seen. like those are always hit and miss, but no pun intended. But what would be your one good thing about Ring of Honor this week?
My good thing is exactly that Ring of Honor made, like, I'm not really sure many people they had. I think they reported like around 3,000, but they made that show look like a stadium full of people. Like,
Yeah,
they managed it, and it looked so good. Like, the lighting was different too, so obviously, so it was a nice looking show for Ring of Honor. Because one of the things that we usually critique Ring of Honor for is that either the lighting sucks or just the show looks way too dark or just looks like kind of cheap. But this show looked like $1 million, so kudos to them for working that.
definitely. Presentation I think was really great. I just really loved the feel of the whole show. Like it really did feel like a special kind of show, you know.
Yeah.
I really loved it. It was, I don't know, something about the outdoor arena. I love outdoor arenas and that kind of vibe. I really loved it.
Oh, they're good.
Let's see. My good for this week probably would go to one word, and that was the main event between Kazuchika Okada and Roderick Strong. Very, very fun match. I mean, obviously, it feels interesting. Like I know I don't think it was really well. Actually, no. Last week they had Nakamura. It seems like they're doing more of the New Japan focus kind of, in the past couple of weeks with Nakamura and Kushida and the time splitters and Okada. I don't mind that. I think next week is when they start the San Antonio TV tapings, so they'll go more into like storylines and stuff like that. But it seems like they have like a 2-week kind of breather where it's just like good wrestling matches. But yeah, when you put those two guys together, I mean, it's going to be good. So definitely.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing, at least during that weekend, that most like outlets were reporting that was like the match of that weekend, considering Takeover, SummerSlam, and Raw. So
yeah,
I definitely need to get myself a copy of the DVD, because I want to see that match complete. Like, we only got to see probably like 20 minutes of it, but I'm sure they probably went longer. So
yeah, definitely.
It was.
Yeah, really fun. What would be your bad for this week for Ring of
Honor? My bad. I'm not exactly 100% sure that this is actually going to happen. But my bad is that we got to see most of the Watanabe Alexander match, and my understanding is that they're going to show it next week again.
Aren't they? Well, no,
I don't know.
I was told I thought next week they're having Watanabe versus Jay Lethal.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, because that was part of that match was actually like the last part of a 6-man match, I believe.
Yeah, it was
like
a
6-man elimination. Yeah, or something along those lines.
Because I remember they just kind of announced that something was going to happen with Watanabe next, and I was like, no, we just saw the match. We don't need to see it again. But in that case, No, I mean that would be my bet, but I guess it's not really that bad anymore.
No,
I
definitely.
don't.
My bet for this week goes to the commentary. Not that I don't want to be that guy. Kevin Kelly and Steve Carino are way better than I can ever freaking be. Let's just get that right. But there were some weird parts to it during commentary. Particularly, I noticed during the Briscoes Time Splitters match. There was stuff where
yeah, it was
what was
Prince
that?
Nana. It was Prince Nana who was in there too.
Yeah, and like I just remember there was a spot where like Kushida got confused or whatever because he was looking the wrong way and he accidentally like was working over Shelley's arm at one point when he was on the apron. But the commentary team like no sells it. Like they don't really pay attention or sort of note it at all, which was really weird. Like this big like comedy spot that is ridiculous. Like and they were just like straight talking about like 0-1 or something. But the commentary is weird like that sometimes. I don't know if it's just their style. I don't know if it's just maybe it was the environment of the show. I don't know. But it was just kind of weird.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I just the fact that they have Prince Nana there was kind of weird for me. It did kind of feel warm inside that Prince Nana was so worried for Shelly since they have a long past.
I did like that they played up that Shelly used to be in the embassy.
Yeah, but I do agree that it sounded kind of weird. And then out of nowhere, we just went to Nigel and Kelly. So commentary wasn't the best. I'm guessing it was the live commentary.
Yeah, I think so.
So they probably didn't have like a good spot to see the whole match. I don't know.
Yeah, it was definitely a live commentary because I noted also in that Watanabe Cedric Alexander clip they showed like Kevin Kelly noted that the winner got a TV title shot on September 19th in San Antonio. It's like that's kind of they got in the past or whatever. So that would be my bet for this week. What would be your one change?
My one change, and it's kind of like nitpicking because it's not really, I guess, that important, but something that I've always hated from baseball field shows is that it's the entrance way that the wrestlers use.
Oh, really?
It's so anticlimactic to just come out from the dugout and have to walk all the way to the ring. Like and I don't know. I just wish they would have like organized it so that it seems more like a big show and not people just walking through the field. Because when Moose came out to attack Cedric, they had to react until Moose got to the ring. But people probably saw Moose like a long time ago. So things like that.
To a degree, I like it because like for like official entrances and stuff like that, it gives it kind of like an old school feel. I feel like it gives it like when you would see old like baseball shows like in the 80s and stuff like that. Like I feel like it gives it that kind of a feel to it. But yeah, I can understand definitely what you're saying. My change for this week, I'm gonna sound like a real horrible wrestling fan for saying this, but I'm just gonna say it anyways. I would have dropped the Briscoe Time Splitters match and shown the full Watanabe, Cedric Alexander, Matt whole thing. I feel just because that match has a bit more importance going forward, and also I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of the Briscoes Time Splitter match. Like those guys are talented and they're great, but like I don't know. I just wasn't into the match. It was because there's not really a huge story, and I don't know. I just wasn't really too into it.
No, I completely agree. I mean, I love the match, but I can totally see more value in giving a number one contender gauntlet match instead of just like showcasing Jelly and Kushida, because that's really the point they did it. So I agree.
And it seemed like in the number one contenders match, there were a lot of guys that was really like. You had Watanabe, who I really liked. You got Cedric Alexander. You got Adam Page, I believe, and a few others. Yeah, like I feel like that match I would have been more invested in. I don't know. Yeah, that's just personal preference. I feel that.
Yeah, I agree.
But where would you rank Ring of Honor this week?
I'm gonna give Ring of Honor number 2. primarily just because of the wrestling, because both matches were really, really good. Like, really, really good.
Definitely. I would actually, unfortunately, even though it like you mentioned how Okada and Roddy was considered like one of the best matches that weekend, it's my number 3 this week. Mainly because I was so impressed by TNA.
Yeah.
I feel like I needed to give TNA a proper due, but yeah, I thought it was a good episode. You know, I personally didn't go to the San Antonio TV tapings. I'm going to be interested to see how those go. So yeah, I'm excited going forward for Ring of Honor.
Yeah, I mean, this was a show where nothing really happened. So,
Yeah,
I mean, any other show that kind of like their progression of their stories obviously feels more important to this. So it's completely understandable.
definitely. Yeah, so that was our thoughts on Ring of Honor this week. That is the second of the third of the midweek war. The final is going to be a big one for obvious reasons, if you know what happened this week. Yeah, so we'll be talking about that. But before we do, Tony Garza, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at DW Revolution at the Twitter, so you can find me at thewrestlingrevolution.com. You can also go to the Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook group where I constantly post stuff, defend Dixie Carter, and shit on PC. That damn kid.
We're going to fight tonight. We're going to fight tonight so bad. Definitely. And you can follow me on Twitter if you'd like. You know, why would you? Over at Eamon2 please on Twitter, and also check out Inspire Pro Wrestling and the stuff that we have coming up over for that organization that I'm proud to work for. Yeah, very exciting stuff coming in the works. You can check us out every Tuesday night at live.wrestlingmayhemshow.com for all the wrestling shows, but also a lot of other stuff in the sort of Tron Media realm of things for tech, for video games, everything. There's a lot of cool stuff that Silvertron Media is producing. There are plenty of ways to support us monetarily, including Patreon, as well as ProWrestlingTees.com. We got a few shirts up there that you would be really nice to buying and supporting us on your body as well as monetarily. So yeah, definitely go support us there. And that has been this edition of the Ring of Honor section of the Midweek War.